What's going on, guys? I'm Vaughn LaFave, and today I want to talk to you about this little guy right here, the Mamiya C330, and why I think every one of you need to buy one. So to start things off, I just want to give a little overview about what the camera is itself. It is a TLR, a twin lens reflex, which means it has two lenses, as you can see, and each one takes the photo and the other is for viewing. So you look through the top right here. It's through the top, it's this one up here. And you look, and that's how you focus. It's kind of like an SLR where you look through the glass and you can focus, pull focus, and find where it is. And the bottom one is the lens taking where it exposes the film. The cool thing about this camera itself is it has a bellows extension for focusing, which means everything inside this is light tight. So there's two sets, there's an inner one and an outer one, just so you don't get light leaks as easy. But this is how you focus. It's kind of like moving the focus ring on the lens, and the front element comes in and out. It's the same thing. As you move the bellows out, the front of the glass gets farther away from the film, which changes the focal point. One of the advantages of having a bellows extended focus is you can get extremely close. I only have a 135mm lens right now. The closeness of the lens you can get because of the bellows, it's almost macro with a 135. So one of the biggest appeals to this camera, in my opinion, is its medium format. If you don't know what medium format is, it's the next step up from your typical 35mm, which most people start out with. 35 negatives are about that big, and 120 negatives are about this big. It's roughly 3.5, 4 times the actual surface size of a 35mm lens, or 35mm format. So if you don't know anything much about it, or you're just getting started out, the bigger the negative, the better the image quality. So theoretically, if you have the same film stock and the same film speed, and you shot it on a 35 format, and then shot it on 120, you should be able to blow this up 3 times bigger without losing any detail or noticeable grain. This camera does, however, shoot another format called 220, which I don't know what it is particularly. I've never shot it, I've never seen it, I've never heard of it, but there's the option on the back to change the plate for a 220 option. I'm assuming it's another real film, which I'm not entirely sure about, but what real film is it just comes in these metal, like foil type carriers, foil type packaging that the film is in here and it's on a reel instead of your typical cassette on 35. The cool thing about 120, in my opinion, is you pull it off of this in the camera and you put it onto another empty reel, and it's called a take-up spool. Another great feature in this, which is the selling point for me, is multiple lens options. On a TLR, typical ones, you can't change the lens. It's a set lens at a set focal length, which is usually 85mm and sometimes 65mm. This, however, has options from 55 wide angle to a 250 telephoto, which is insanely zoomed in because the larger the film, the farther away and the bigger the focal length of the actual lens is. So this is cool. It's just a kind of like an SLR. You have to unlock it, obviously, and then you pull this little rod up right here, push to the side and up, and your lenses kind of come off just like an SLR. It does have a base plate that sees right into the camera. That's where your film is, and it's just on these little base plates. With optional lenses, you get a way better shooting experience. You can get close-up group shot, you can get close-up macro shots with a telephoto, you can get extremely wide group photos with a lot of people, all on this one camera, where in the past you'd have to buy adaptions to kind of add a piece of glass to make it a fisheye, or add a piece of glass on top of the lens to, zoom in more. Where this, it's as simple as turning a knob, pulling a rod up, and swapping lenses. I've shot 3 or 4 reels through this camera already, and the quality on the glass is extremely sharp. I've read reviews online that it is up to par with Carl Zeiss, and I don't know if you can get as good as Zeiss lenses. Those are $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 lenses for real good quality ones, where these you can pick up for a couple $100. But with account to the 120 film size and these lenses themselves, extremely sharp. So one of the biggest things with analog photographers nowadays is being able to express your work online. And the easiest way to do it is on Instagram. And the cool thing about the Mamiya is it's already cropped. It's a 6x6 format. One of the biggest turns on as well is this is extremely inexpensive. I picked this one up for $100, which is a huge steal, especially for this camera itself. A lot of these cameras with a lens sell online for $300 to $400. You know, that seems like a lot of money up front for something that's 40 years old. But if you think the quality you're gonna get out of this, you're gonna be spending $10,000 on a digital camera that you can get for $300, $400. The place it does get a little bit pricey are the lenses. The lenses themselves are $200 on for a regular one and all the way up to $300. I have the 135, which is about the cheapest of the bunch. It's not the most desirable lens, even though it's my favorite. You can pick it up for, I've seen them sell for about $100 online. But the most desirable are about the 65 and the 55, and they sell for $300, $400, and they are the sharpest lenses. So you can get the whole thing for, you know, get going for $300, $400. Really inexpensive for the quality you're getting. So that's gonna wrap it up, guys. I hope you liked that review of my Mamiya C330. It is my personal favorite camera I have owned to date. The quality, between the quality, the build quality, the glass, everything about it, the aesthetic appeal, it's just a gorgeous camera, and I think everybody should at least shoot one or play with one or have a TLR of some kind. So I hope you guys liked it. I'm gonna wrap this one up. Subscribe if you want to subscribe. Make sure to drop a like down below, and I'll see you for the next one.